Good morning to everyone. In today's lecture, we will proceed with the next topic. So, in the previous class, we have seen the Fick's law. Basically, there are two laws we have seen: the Fick's first law and the second law. So, this first law governs the flux that is passing through uh, the planes, like P1 P2 planes we have taken inside a crystal structure. So we have seen this flux. So this flux will be given by J is equals to minus D del N by del X. So here N here indicates the concentration of dopant atoms. This X is the depth of diffusion, or you can say between two planes. What is this uh, distance? This is called your dx value. Okay, so this says the Fick's first law. In the Fick's second law, this gives us the rate of change of the concentration, or concentration of dopant, or this is basically called accumulation of dopants. So accumulation of dopants is given by del n by del t is equals to del by del x into d del n by del x. So basically it is the flux, negative of the flux, that is given by the first law. So this is the second law of Fick's. So up to here we have seen in the previous class. So now, to proceed to solve this second law of the Fick's law, here we need to differentiate this complete term with respect to delta x. So this delta x differentiation can be having the variation with respect to this d value. Okay, so how this d value is going to vary, based on that there will be different conditions. Okay, so here we will basically consider the case 1. The case 1 is when the d, that is diffusion constant, that is independent of this depth, or we can call it as a constant. If it is a constant, then the Fick's first law, this flux is given by J is equals to minus D delta n by delta x. By the second law, this was the expression. So if we will be considering this diffusion coefficient or diffusion constant is basically a constant value, it is independent of uh, delta x, then our delta n by delta t, that is the rate of accumulation of dopants between two planes, will be given by d will be taken out, and it will become del 2n by del x square. Okay, so this will be the simplified equation. Okay, so this simplified equation is basically termed as the Fick's simple law. This is considered as the Fick's simple law. So this was the Fick's first law, this was the second law. In this second law, if we are considering this d, that is diffusion coefficient, as a constant, then the second law will be given by this, and this is like a simplified model of the second law. That's why it is called Fick's simple law. Okay, so this is Fick's simple law. Here in this also there are two cases basically. So in this case also there will be two different cases we will be considering the d value. So this d value will be, if it is constant, so this constant can have two different variations. Like the first one is called infinite infinite source diffusion. So if it follows infinite source diffusion, so based on the diffusion coefficient, the first it is categorized as infinite source diffusion. So infinite source diffusion, that means the surface concentration. What does it mean basically? So here the infinite source diffusion, it gives like the surface concentration of the dopant is always maximum, that is at the surface. So this diffusion we are considering is when diffusion is going to take place at the surface, we are considering this diffusion is at the maximum value. Okay, so this maximum value is basically governed by solid solubility limit, solid solubility limit of the dopant. So here infinite source diffusion means the maximum concentration, basically the maximum concentration of the dopant at the surface is a maximum value. So that's why it is called infinite source diffusion. So infinite source, here we will be writing it like it is such that at the surface, the surface concentration, the surface the surface concentration of dopant is always maximum. So this maximum value will be equals to a constant, a constant. This constant is basically given by this, basically governed by solid solubility limit. So whatever is the maximum concentration of the dopant that is available, that is defined as the solid solubility limit value. So that will be the maximum concentration of dopant is given by the solid solubility limit. So this is the limit, solid solubility limit of dopant actually. Okay, so what is the highest value of dopant on the surface? The concentration of dopant at the surface is that by maximum value is called the solid solubility limit value. So in case of considering like this diffusion that is going to take place is such that the source of diffusion, that is the diffusant, or we call it the dopant, is having infinite source diffusion. That means even if the concentration of this dopant is n, this basically is given by like n0. So suppose n0 is the maximum concentration, even if some uh, dopant atoms are diffusing, after diffusion also we have considered like this is always providing n0 concentration of dopant. That's why it is called infinite source diffusion. So in practical, if it is not an infinite source diffusion, suppose it is having n concentration, so after some time some atoms move or diffuse. If some atoms diffuse, then this n value will be decreasing to some value that will be less than n, or we call it less than 1. That means this new value, that is n dash, will be less than n. Okay, so after some atoms have been diffused, then this value will become less than, the new value will become less than n value. But in case of infinite source diffusion, the source, that is the source of dopant atom, will always be having highest value, and that highest value will be n0, and this n0 is the highest concentration that can be possible, that is given by solid solubility limit. Okay, so here like this diffusion constant is a constant that is not depending on the concentration or any other parameter like diffusion, the depth of diffusion, the delta x, it is not varying with respect to delta n, delta x, and also it is not varying with respect to the concentration also. Okay, then it can have an infinite source. Okay, so we will see what is the effect of infinite source. The second part the second part is basically given by the second part is constant total impurity. Here the second part is constant total impurity. So what is the difference is, here the dopant is having a highest concentration, that is N naught, and this N naught is always, so the concentration will always be N naught only, even if some dopants atoms have been diffused after diffusion, then also this concentration will always be N0. But in here the total concentration, the constant total impurity, so whatever the concentration is there, we have taken that total as a constant. That means after some time, if it is N, after some time if some diffuses, then this value will be decreasing, so it is considered to be a constant total impurity. So total concentration has been a constant value. If some atoms diffuses, then the total available value will be less than the initial value. Okay, so we will see this two conditions so one by one. Okay, so in case of infinite source diffusion, okay, so in terms of infinite source diffusion, we will take the some conditions, boundary conditions or initial conditions. So the N is the concentration of the dopant. So at zero distance, for time period t, whatever time is there, at zero distance, that means there is no diffusion taking place, the diffusion depth is zero, then the N value, that is concentration of dopant, will always be N0. Okay, this is the boundary condition, because we have taken, if the high initially the highest value of the concentration is N0, so it is N0. So concentration at maximum value of diffusion depth, that is suppose infinite diffusion depth has been taken, diffusion depth is infinite, and at that particular time, okay, if infinite diffusion has been taken place, then the amount of, or we call it concentration of dopants available, will be zero. That means if infinite depth of diffusion has been taken place, then there will not be any concentration available at the surface. The concentration will be zero. Okay, so this is called the boundary condition. Okay, the next condition is, if some diffusion x depth is there, x is there, the concentration as t is equals to 0. So at t is equals to 0, that means if there has no diffusion taking place at t is equals to 0, the diffusion concentration will be 0. So this is called initial condition. Okay, so this is the initial condition and boundary condition. So with respect to the initial condition and boundary condition, now we will see this Fick's first law. So with respect to these boundary conditions and with respect to these boundary conditions and Fick's simple law, we will be finding the relation. So the after finding the relation, we will get like the concentration of dopants with respect to x and t variables is given as n0 into error function complement. So complement of error function, that will be a function of x divided by 2 under root dt. Okay, so this is the relation of concentration of dopants basically in terms of x diffusion depth and the time. So with respect to time and depth of diffusion, it is given as the function of error function here. Okay, so this error function, that is error function with C is written, that means it is a complement error function. So this complement error function is basically given as, this is error function complement. Suppose if it is x variable, then it is given like it is 1 minus the error function. Okay, so here complement of error function is used, that means it is 1 minus something. Okay, so from there, if we consider the relation, okay, so if we put with respect to here, if we put x is equals to 0, if we put x is equals to 0, means at x equals to 0, that means if there has no diffusion taken place having diffusion depth as 0, if we put this 0 value, so this error function will be equals to 0. So this is 1 minus 0, so this error complement function will be n into 1 minus 0, so it will be n 0. So here n 0 t will be a function of n0. Okay, so this is from this equation, the error function equation, this is considered to be n0. So at x is equals to 0, that we have considered it as a boundary condition, so it satisfies the boundary condition. Okay, so this is the relation of concentration of dopant uh, that is available. Okay, so this concentration of dopant with respect to time and with respect to diffusion depth is given by this. Now we will find the relation. Okay, so to find the relation, uh, we will we need this error function equation basically. So how this error function is defined, so we will see that. So this error function is basically given by, so this error function, if it is x is there, error function of x is defined by 2 divided by under root pi integration 0 to x exponential minus z square into dz. So this is the equation of error function. Okay, so we will be putting this x with respect to our variable available here. So here this is the variable available in our case. So once we will be putting this variable equation. Okay, so into that, this is the concentration of dopant at x and t positions. Okay, so this with respect to x and t variables, we are having uh, this diffusion is taking place with respect to that. N value is given the concentration of dopant. So this n value of dopant is given. Now if we want to find out total amount of dopant, then this total amount of dopant is basically, that is total amount of dopant is given by q, and that will be equal to the integration of the concentration of dopant at x and t. Okay, with respect to x and t, this concentration of dopant is varying, so total amount of dopant, that will be equals to, if we are integrating this value, the concentration value, so it will, we will be integrating with respect to 0 to infinity to n x t dx. So with respect to x, we will be integrating this equation, and now from here we can get the value of total amount of dopant available. Okay, so this total amount of dopant is given like, it will be 0 to infinity by putting this from the error function. Okay, equation, we will get like it is 0 to infinity n naught into error function complement with x divided by 2 under root dt, okay, into dx is there. Now we will change this integration order basically. So this we will be making it as consider it at z. So instead of x we will be converting this integration with respect to a z. So by putting the values it will be n naught, and once we will be putting it will be 2 into under root dt integration 0 to infinity, okay, integration 0 to infinity error function into z into dz, okay. So this will be our integration after changing the variable, okay. So this value, the value of this integration is coming out to be 1 by under root pi. So finally the q value, by putting this value we can get like it is 2 n naught, 2 n naught in under root it will be dt by pi. So this is the total amount of dopant, okay, that is impurity available into this crystal basically, that can be derived by differentiating with respect to the diffusion depth, whatever diffusion depth that is dx. This basically gives the diffusion depth. So this basically measures diffusion depth, or we call it junction depth. So if this is the substrate and diffusion is being taken place, so whatever diffusion has been taken place, what is the diffusion depth, to what extent the diffusion has taken place, that will be considered as the junction depth or diffusion depth. So this is like it was a p type, and here we have considered n type diffusion, okay. So this is the boundary, okay, so this is the boundary. So this boundary value, or from starting to this depth, this x of diffusion, we call it diffusion depth or we call it junction depth, so it is considered as x of j, okay. So this distance will be considered as x of j, okay. So this is basically measured by the total amount of dopant available, okay, and also with respect to time. So this value is useful for measuring the junction depth basically. So we will see that like how it is going to measure the junction depth. So at the junction what will happen is, at the junction, so at the junction what will happen, so whatever the nb, so there is, suppose at the junction we have the concentration of uh, this is called boundary. So at the boundary we are having the concentration of dopant as nb, okay. So nb is the concentration, then by the equation, the error the concentration equation that is above, we will be putting n value with respect to xj location, that is junction location, that will be considered as x j location having concentration nb, then this nb will be given by n naught error function complement this x divided by 2 under root dt. So from the above equation, so this was the equation, okay. So from this equation, by putting x is equals to xj, whatever concentration will be coming out, that concentration will be called as nb, that is boundary concentration. At the boundary, at the junction, what is the concentration, that will be nb is equals to n naught error function. This x at that point will be considered as the junction depth. It will be represented by x of j. So from there we can find the value of xj. So that will be your junction depth, okay. And one more point we need to consider a graph. So this error function, so this dopant concentration is basically having the function of error function, complementary error function. So if we plot this error function for different uh, junction depth, and this is n, that is the concentration of dopant, it is coming out to be like, so at x is equals to 0, so when x is equals to 0, the concentration will be highest, that will be n naught. So n naught will be the highest concentration. So once it is having the highest concentration, if it starts the diffusion, if diffusion starts, there will be some depth, diffusion will be reaching to some depth, then it is given like its concentration decreases from n0 to some value like that. Okay, similarly this is the case at a particular time t1. Okay, similarly if another time, if we are going to diffuse for higher time, it will be diffusing such that if we are going to allow the diffusion to take place at some higher temperature, suppose it is sorry temperature, or it is time, basically higher time. So if time is higher, the diffusion depth will be somewhat higher than the previous one. So this was the previous one, so this will be the next diffusion depth. If we consider a further time period, we are taking time period further, it will be like this, the concentration will be changing. So this will be like x3, and this is for t3. So this t3 is time, and this is t1 time. So it is like t1 is less than t2, that is less than this t3. So here t3 is the highest time. If from this graph we can see, if the diffusion is made or allowed to make for higher time, then the diffusion depth will be increasing. So initially the diffusion depth was x1, and then it was x2 and x3. If we are allowing the time period higher, then diffusion depth will be higher. Okay, the next we call it, so this is like it has started with infinite source diffusion. That means initially when diffusion has started, then the concentration of dopant was n0. Okay, so if it is started with n0, and that is solid solubility limit, it is the value of solid solubility limit, then if the diffusion started with solid solubility limit value of concentration of dopant, then this uh, type of diffusion is called pre-deposition. This is called pre-deposition. It is pre-deposition, or it is called infinite source diffusion. So this infinite source diffusion is also considered as the pre-deposition. So it is the, you can say it is the starting point of diffusion. So diffusion, if diffusion is going to take place, the first step of the diffusion will be the pre-deposition or infinite type, infinite source diffusion type. Okay, so here we can see like the surface concentration here is always remain constant. That means even if the diffusion takes place for t1 time, or for t2 time, or for t3 time, the diffusion has started from the n0 itself. The diffusion is starting from the N0 and okay, so here the surface concentration is always remains constant, and this constant is given by the N naught value. Okay, so this is given by the N naught value, that is the solid solubility limit at all the time. Okay, so this is what we can depict from this graph, basically, like the the surface concentration of dopant is always constant, that is N naught, which is given by solid solubility limit at all times. Okay, okay. So till now we have seen the first part, that is infinite source diffusion. The next we will see the constant total impurity. So here in this case the concentration of dopant is constant, and that is supposed having a constant value, and if it takes some time to diffusion, then its concentration will be reduced. So after some time, if another diffusion, the next for next time period diffusion is going to take place, then starting point of that next diffusion will be not a constant value of n0, it will be some other value less than the n0. Okay, so that we will see the next. So the next point is going to be the constant total impurity. Okay, this is another type of diffusion. So here in this case we will be starting with the boundary conditions. So here it is like such that if we are going to integrate this concentration with respect to Tx, that will be given by the Q, that is total dopant concentration. We have seen this already also. Okay, and also in case of N concentration, such that for infinite depth the concentration will be equals to 0. Okay, so this is called boundary condition. The next one is like the concentration at some x value with time is equals to 0. That means we are making the diffusion to take place for 0 time duration, then the concentration will be equals to 0 initially. Okay, so this is called initial condition. Okay, so this was the initial condition. So in this case, when a constant total impurity type of diffusion is need to be done or is going to take place, then the concentration of dopant, so in this case the concentration of dopant with x and t function is given by a Gaussian function. Okay, so it is given by q divided by under root pi dt into exponential minus x square divided by 4 dt. So this is the concentration of dopant that is considered as Gaussian profile. So in the previous case it was error function type of profile of the dopant concentration. Here in this case, if the total constant total impurity type of diffusion is there, then at that time it will be following the Gaussian type of profile. Okay, so its concentration will be given by a Gaussian function. Okay, so here if it is a Gaussian type of profile is there. Here if we want to find out the surface concentration, if we want to find out the surface concentration, so this surface considered concentration is basically represented by Ns, that is concentration of dopant at the surface, that is Ns, and it will be like, for at the surface means at x equals to 0, so it will be 0 comma t. So at x equals to 0, whatever the concentration will be there, that will be considered as Ns. So this Ns value is given as q by under root pi dt. So here in this equation, if we will be putting x equals to 0, we will be getting surface concentration. So surface concentration will be coming out to be q divided by this. Okay, so this is your surface concentration. So here this surface concentration, if we follow this equation, so it is Ns is a function of, you can say, under root t. So this is q, d and pi and t. So with respect to time, if we consider, so this Ns value is having a dependence on time. So as time increases, the concentration of Ns will be reduced. Okay, that means if we consider like the diffusion has been taking place for some amount of time, then the surface concentration what was initially, that is x equals to 0, that was Ns. So this Ns value is going to reduce its concentration as time passes. Okay, so it is not a constant with this, like in the previous type. So in the previous type we have seen like it is infinite source diffusion type was there. So here the source was having infinite concentration of dopant. So after some time, if the diffusion has been taken place, then also the concentration at the surface is always n not well only. But in this case here the concentration is basically not a constant value, it is depending uh, with respect to time itself. Okay, so this time is going to affect the concentration. Okay, so just a minute. Okay, so next point we will see, if we consider the value of, yes, so we have considered this dopant concentration at time period like some value. If the time is increasing, the surface concentration of dopant will be reducing. Okay, and now we will consider the junction depth, or we call it the diffusion depth, whatever the junction depth is there. So what will be the junction depth? That is like it is given by xj. So when nv, this is defined when concentration is equals to nb, that is the boundary condition concentration. One more point we missed here. So in this plot we have seen, so at the boundary it is defined, this concentration at the boundary is considered as the nb. So this is the point where the junction has been formed. So like this is x1, so this is a constant. Okay, so this is constant. So at x1, so this is for time period t1, x1 is the junction depth. So at this junction depth, whatever the concentration of this dopant will be there, that is considered as the nb. So this nb is calculated by using this graph, uh, by plotting with respect to this nb value. This is just an indicative value, so this can be considered when the diffusion depth, or we call it the junction depth, is considered with respect to T1, T2 and T3 time periods. So then that concentration of dopant is given as the NB. So here the same. So when the concentration has become NB, at that time whatever the diffusion the junction depth will be there, that is given by the Xj. Okay, so this is basically, we will find again here like how the junction depth can be calculated by using this. So in that, this is the formula, the Gaussian profile formula is there. So here to find Xj, what we will be doing is we will be putting, so this concentration is given out to be NB. Here the concentration is this, and with respect to that, so this is Q divided by this, so this Q divided by this value is coming out to be Ns. So it is NB is equals to Ns into the exponential function minus x square. So this x will be equals to xj divided by 4 dt. So this is the expression to find out the junction depth. So this is to find out the junction depth. Okay, so this will provide the junction depth concentration basically. The next point we will see like the plot of the concentration with respect to the diffusion depth basically. So here we are going to plot. So here this is N and this is the X diffusion depth is there, or junction depth. Okay, so here, so initially it will be having a concentration, so whatever concentration is there, so if this diffusion at the, suppose a diffusion is going to take place at t1 time period, then its concentration will decrease like that. So this is for t1. Okay, similarly in case of t2, suppose for t2 time period we are going to uh, diffuse the same dopant to the silicon crystal, or whatever crystal is there. So we are going to have the diffusion again for some more time. Then the diffusion will be starting with this much of concentration, and it will be going like that. Okay, so this is like for once we have made the diffusion for t1 time period, again we are going to make for t2 time period, and again we are going to make it for t3 time period. Then it will be like that. Okay, so here is t1 again is less than, this is t2, this is less than t3. So t3 is the highest time. So if for higher time we are going to make the diffusion, then it will be started with, suppose this is n1. Okay, so this is n1 and this is n2 and this is n3. Then it will be like n1 is less than, so here n1 will be greater than n2 will be greater than n3. That means n3 will be the lowest concentration of dopant at the surface. So if once we have done the diffusion for t1 time period, again we are going to do the diffusion, then the diffusion at the surface, dopant concentration at the surface will be lower than the initial dopant concentration for the t1 time period. Okay, so this is how it gives again this will be your the NB, that is at the boundary. this will be the concentration. Okay, so from this graph we can depict one point, like as time increases, as time as time increases, the junction depth is going to increase deeper. As time increases, uh, the junction depth is going to increase deeper and deeper into the substrate, or we call it the semiconductor material. So as we are uh, increasing the time, okay, so as we are increasing the time, this junction depth is going to increase deeper and deeper into the semiconductor material. Okay, so and also one more point, like the surface concentration for different times is different. So for T1 time period, the first diffusion, so this is the first diffusion, it is taken for a smaller time period. Then for the second diffusion going to take place, the surface concentration is lower than the initial N1 value. So again for T3 time period we are going, then it is lower than the N2 value. Okay, so the concentration is going to reduce once a diffusion has taken place. The other diffusion is going to take place, then the initial concentration will be reduced. It will not be a constant value. So like in the previous one, it was a constant value in case of infinite source diffusion. Okay, so in the case 1, so we have seen the case 1. So case 1 is like the d is constant, so diffusion coefficient is constant, that is independent of the dopant this dx value, that is the change in the diffusion depth value. It is, if it is constant, then it is of two type: infinite source diffusion, that is having a concentration that is constant for a different time period. If different time period diffusion has been taking place, then this is having an infinite source of diffusant. Okay, so and the second part was here, the concentration of diffusant was constant. Okay, the concentration, total concentration of dopant or diffusant is basically a constant. If first time a diffusion has been taken place, then the available diffusant or concentration of diffusion dopant is basically will be a smaller value than the first dopant. So total is here, total concentration will be a constant, but after some time, if another diffusion is going to take place, then the initial concentration will be reduced. Okay, but overall it will be having a total, it is having constant total impurity. So total impurity concentration will be constant, but it will be starting with a lower value in each cases. Okay, so this was the analysis of case 1. Now we will see the analysis of case 2. So in the case 2, it is such that your diffusion coefficient is a function of doping concentration. That means n value. So the second case is, we have taken the diffusion coefficient is a function of n value, that is doping concentration. If this is the case, then we will see like it is not having a direct fixed constant relation. So it is assumed like, suppose in the first case d, that is diffusion coefficient, is having a directly proportional relation with respect to n. If this is the case, then d, if it is made equal with the constant k, then it is d will be equals to k into n. This is a proportionality constant. Okay. Okay, so this is a proportionality constant. So if we find at surface, if we find the diffusion coefficient, so it is considered as at surface, it will be ds. So at ds, the diffusion coefficient is considered as ds, because we are finding the diffusion coefficient because it is having a direct relation with respect to the doping concentration. So we know, like, if the doping concentration is ns at the surface, it will be reducing beyond this surface. So it will be having a variation with respect to the doping concentration. So at surface we will be finding out what is the diffusion coefficient. So diffusion coefficient is also going to vary. So this ns value at the surface will be given by k into ns value. Okay, so by using these two equations, we can find the relation, like the d is coming out to be, so this d is coming out to be n divided by ns into ds. Okay, so this was the case when this was the relation. Similarly, the second case, like if d is directly proportional to, instead of n we are considering like it is directly proportional to n square. If this is the case, so similar to this, we will find out like d will be coming out to be n divided by ns to the whole power, that will be equal into ds. So this will be the d, that is diffusion, the final diffusion, that will be having a relation with respect to the concentration at the surface, the dopant concentration at the surface, and dopant concentration at the uh, n value, the total value, that is n is the dopant concentration at particular location. Similarly, in the third case, we are considering like the diffusion coefficient is having a direct relation with n to the power 3. If this is the case, then this d is coming out to be n divided by ns to the power 3 into ds. Okay, so this is how the doping coefficient is going to or diffusion coefficient is going to vary with respect to the doping concentration, or the concentration of dopant atom is basically. So now we will plot this uh, for different value of n by ns value. Okay, so if n, so this we are going to plot with respect to n by ns. So here n by ns is there, and here it is thickness of diffusion. So this thickness of diffusion is basically given by y, that is having the relation like x divided by dt into 2. Okay, so this 2 is here, so it is like x divided by 2. We are plotting this at the x-axis, and this is at the y-axis. Then the plot comes out like, the first is this is the first one, when the d is equals to ds n by ns to the power 3. This is the case. Okay, so the second case, if Okay, these are the straight lines. Okay, straight curves. Okay, so this is the point when d is equals to ds n by ns to the power 2. Okay, the next we will see, so this will be like when d is equals to ds n by ns. So this is the relation, and if d is equals to ds, if d is equals to ds, then the relation is coming out to be this. So this is when d is equals to ds, that means n is equals to ns is there. Okay, so this is when n equals to ns is equals to 1. So at the starting point it will be started with this, at n by ns is coming out to be 1, that means here at this location the n is ns, that is at the surface. So at the surface that means x is equals to 0, so whatever the concentration will be there of n, that will be equals to n only, the ns only. Okay, so this is how the variation of concentration with respect to the thickness of a diffusion will be there. So this value is coming out to be the x is equals to 0.4, and this value comes out to be 0.8 value. Okay, so from there it is like this concentration of n is going to reduce such that it will be, when it is dropping here, it seems like a perpendicular. Okay, so it seems like perpendicular, that means it is up here a parallel line, here is a parallel line, this is a packing, and this, because of this parallel lines, or we can call it, this is because of the parallel perpendicular drop of this concentration at the x-axis. This region is look like a box like structure, so it is like box like structure. Okay, so that's why it is called box like profile. So that means if the diffusion is a function of doping concentration or dopant concentration, then the profile that we will be getting for the doping concentration or the dopant concentration will be a box like profile. Okay, so in all the cases it will be coming out to be box like profile, and this is the case when d having a relation with respect to n divided by ns to the power 3, then it is coming out to be this value. That means if the concentration it is varying with respect to the 3 to the power of concentration, then if concentration is decreasing, then ds value will be this d value, that is diffusion coefficient value will be reducing with respect to this value. So if it is reducing ns n value, that is concentration, the dopant concentration is going to reduce, then diffusion coefficient value is also going to reduce. So if diffusion coefficient value is going to reduce with the power of 3 to the concentration of dopant, then that means if this is the relation, then the maximum dopant or diffusion depth or uh, dope, this diffusion depth or junction depth we can get is this only. So this will be the minimum diffusion depth in case of n divided by ns to the power 3. If it is to the power 2, then the diffusion depth or junction depth will be somewhat higher than this value. Similarly, if it is having a relation with respect to n by ns to the power 1, then it will be having a higher diffusion depth or junction depth basically. Okay, so this is how the variation of N, that is a concentration of dopant, is going to be like with respect to the thickness of diffusion. So here it shows the profile of this concentration of dopant shows a box like profile. Okay, so this box like profile comes out to be uh, the type of profiling in case of the concentration of dopant. Okay, so uh, till now we have seen different cases in case of uh, diffusion coefficient that we are having. One more point, we will some more points we can note it down with respect to this. So to make a note with this curve, we can see like uh, the junction becomes, so this junction becomes more and more shallower, or become, that is shallower means that is less penetration to the semiconductor surface. That means if uh, here is like the junction has become more shallower, that means there is less penetration to the semiconductor if it is having a higher order relation with respect to the concentration. So the junction becomes more shallower, that is less penetration of semiconductor surface with respect to the higher relation of or relation of dopant concentration. We call it higher power relation of dopant concentration. So if the dopant concentration is related with the diffusion coefficient with respect to higher power, then the diffusion or junction depth that we obtain will be of a smaller value. There will be a smaller junction depth. Okay. Uh, some more points we will see. So if D, that is having a relation like n divided by ns to the power 3, that is higher powers of concentration of dopant, then it becomes, or we call it, then it forms basically a box like profile. Okay, so this is the 2 points we have concluded from this uh, graph. Okay, so we are having shallower junction depth, and one more point, that is it is going to follow a box like dopant profile. Okay, so the dopant profile that we will be obtaining is a box like profile will be there, and this junction depth, so this junction depth is given as, so this we will be writing like the junction depth in each case is 1.616 into under root ds with respect to dx ds into t. So this is the junction depth relation in case of the diffusion coefficient that is having a relation by n by ns, that means it is having the relation with respect to n by ns to the power 1, then for this relation the junction depth is given as this. So this junction depth in other cases, like in case having the relation for d is equals to n by ns to the power 2 ds, in this case if diffusion coefficient is varying with respect to this, then at that case the junction depth is given by this, that is less than this value. This is obviously visible with respect to uh, the graph. So in case of a relation of diffusion coefficient with respect to the dopant concentration is having a power of 3, then in that case the junction depth is given by this. So from here we can see, like, if we are going to increase the power of n by ns ratio, if we are going to increase the power of n by ns ratio, that means we are going to reduce. So this is going to reduce. So it is like, it will be, if we are going to increase, the value will be reducing basically. So okay, so this is the junction depth that we will be getting is more smaller. Okay, so it is shallower, it will be more shallower or thinner, we can call it. So, or we say it like that, or we can have a relation like, if it is going downward we can write like it is more shallower or thinner. So the junction depth will be thin. Okay, that will be a shallow in nature. Okay, so this is with respect to the power of diffusion coefficient, that is having a relation with respect to the power of dopant concentration. Okay, the next point we can see, if in general cases this diffusion is basically carried out at higher temperature. Okay, so if we are going to carry out this diffusion at a higher temperature, then at higher temperature what happens is, there will be uh, if intrinsic semiconductor is there. Okay, so if there is no dopant has been included into the semiconductor, then if we are going to increase the temperature, the intrinsic semiconductor will be having such that if we are going to increase the temperature, its uh, concentration is going to increase. Okay, as we are increasing the temperature, if we are going to increase the temperature, then the concentration will increase. That means, so with respect to the impurity concentration, the intrinsic semiconductor whatever is there, that will be having a variation in the concentration also. So we will in the next class we will see like how this is going to vary, this is going to change our diffusion coefficient value, and how this diffusion coefficient is going to affect the diffusion depth or the quality of diffusion that is going to take place. So we will see that into the next class. Okay, then